Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I was a little MIA this past week. I had a bit of a crazy week. If you can't tell by my voice, I was sick all week, so that's mainly why I haven't posted anything. I actually lost my voice for a couple days because I was busy, so I was actually talking a lot more than I usually talk. So being sick on top of that, just my voice couldn't handle it. So this week, yeah, I was sick. And I mean, I'm still sick, I'm still getting over it. And then this weekend, somehow I thought I was going to get a lot of reading done, but I had a music gig in Ottawa. So I was at my friend's house all weekend, so I was busy with the gig and just hanging out with she was my best friend. She is my best friend, and we haven't seen each other in forever, so I actually didn't really get any reading done. And also, the drive there, I was driving by myself, so I wasn't the passenger in the car, so I couldn't read. So I was busy all weekend, so I didn't get the chance to read really this weekend. And then on top of all that, on Thursday, we had a crazy thunderstorm with tornado warnings. And I had gotten home just before the rain got really bad, but the rain was really heavy and I'm in my car, so I decided to do a quick run out, but I didn't want to open my car door very much to not let in a lot of water into the car. So stupid me, I opened the door just the tiniest bit and I ran out, but as I was running out, the door is really heavy, so it fell back and it actually hit me really hard right here. I actually got a goosebump from it. And then, like a day later, I got really weird blurry vision, like I couldn't read, I couldn't focus on stuff, and it kind of went away after like 20 minutes. And then it happened again on the Sunday while I was driving back from Ottawa, and so I freaked out because the last thing I need is to have my vision go. So I did an emergency appointment at an eye doctor yesterday. Was that yesterday? So yesterday I went and they put in eye drops that made my irises like really huge, so I couldn't focus on anything. So yesterday I was not able to read at all. I couldn't do anything yesterday. So I have not read as much as I wanted to, and I haven't filmed because I've had no voice to film. But I'm finally back, and I will update you guys on what I have read up to. I think I've read up to the end of chapter 12 now. So I read the interlude chapters, chapter 11 and chapter 12. Or no, sorry, chapter 12 and chapter 13, because I'm on chapter 14 now. And I'm making reads right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, to try and kill two birds with one stone. So to get back into it, I read the interlude chapters. So there was 3 chapters, and each one was on Ishikk, Nan, Baalit, and Seth, who we had met before. And out of the 3, I'm really intrigued by who this Ishikk is. There's not really much given on who he is, but he lives near the Pier Lake, or he lives on the shore of the Pier Lake. He calls himself a Pier Laker, and he's very much a water person. It seems like he's always in the water. He's in the water as much as possible. And he had 2 people show up, and they asked him if he had found the person that they're looking for, and he says no, that he's been looking for months, but this person hasn't come up. And that's pretty much all there is to the chapter. The 2 people leave at the end. And yeah, there's not much else given to who Ishikk is, who he's looking for. So it's very open-ended what is going on there, and I really want to get more chapters of what is going on there. And then the next chapter is about Nan Baalit, who is Shallan's brother, and we get more of a back history of, or more in-depth of Shallan's family. And it turns out that so she has 3 brothers, one has died, and I think it's connected to how her father died. There's a bit more hinted at about her father's death, but it's still unclear of what actually happened. But her other 2 brothers are crippled now, So I think that also has to do with her father's death. But it's not revealed as to what happened. Oh, and the chapter ends with Wickham coming to Nan Ballot and saying that there's a big problem, something's happened. And that's how the chapter ends. And so my prediction is that people have found out or are starting to find out that their father has died, because that's the whole thing Shallan is worried about, that they'll go bankrupt and lose their house and everything and status once it's found out that her father is dead. And then the last chapter focuses on Szeth. Not entirely sure how to pronounce it. Szeth. It turns out, so we know that he's an assassin, but we find out that he's basically a slave. He has an oath stone. He has an oath stone, and basically whoever has possession of the oath stone controls him. There's only one rule that he can't do, and he can't kill himself. That's the only freedom basically that he has with this oath stone. So it's really sad, and it brings more light to why he killed Gavilar. Basically he was under the control of someone who wanted Gavilar dead. And then at the end of this chapter, the person who has the oath stone basically says interesting, very interesting. So he's going to make Szeth do something, which again, it's open-ended, don't know what he's going to do. And then we get back into the regular chapters. So chapter 12 is about Adolin. So this chapter focuses on the Colin family, and we get more into the politics of how the king is set up and all that kind of stuff. So I do get a little bit confused because there's so many people introduced in this chapter. I kind of forget who is who, but Dalinar is the brother of Gavilar who was killed, and the current king, Elhokar, is Gavilar's son. And then Adolin is the son of Dalinar. And what happens in this chapter is they're going to go on a hunt for a chasm fiend. So they're on the Shattered Plains, and there's like a hunting party. And the chapter is them going for the hunting party, and then there's a lot of dialogue in between the family, so we get more in depth of how the family works with each other. And then we also get a bit on, I believe, Adolin and his courtship, how his romantic failings are basically. And then that chapter ends with a massive chasm fiend coming out of a chasm, and everyone is freaking out because the majority of the people that are there are unarmed. And then I read on to the next chapter where they're actually fighting the chasm fiend, and it's a really fun chapter how they end up beating it, and we get more into how the Stormlight magic works with their armor and their swords. Yes, we see the swords for the first time, how they take 10 seconds to appear, and they kind of appear out of mist into the Shardbearer's hand. And at the end of the chapter, they do end up beating the Chasm Fiend, and inside of every single Chasm Fiend there is a gem heart, and Elhokar takes out this gem heart, and apparently it's like the biggest one they've ever had, and they're worth a massive fortune. And so everyone's happy. And this is good because they're worried. Elhokar is new at being a king, and he's young, so this whole scene basically helps to show that they have a good king, you know, a king that they can stand behind and can fight the bad and protect them. So that's pretty much what I got up to. Yeah, it's for a week, it's actually not a lot of reading. And actually yesterday too, was it yesterday? Is today Wednesday? I'm losing my days. Yes. So I actually went to the eye thing happened on Monday. Yesterday I ended up working with my boyfriend all day, but there wasn't actually a lot for me to do because he had all the prep that he had to do. So I ended up reading a lot, but I didn't bring Way of Kings with me because I wasn't expecting to read. So the place we were at, they had the Harry Potters, and I had just finished listening to the first one on audiobook. So I took the second book and I read half of the second book while I was there, just because I had so much downtime that I wasn't expecting. So unfortunately, I could have brought Way of Kings and I probably could have got a good 40-50 pages read, but I should be able to get more read this week. So basically, I want to see more of Ishikk and Seth. Seth I found very interesting too. And it seems like we'll probably go a while before we get another Shallan chapter, but I think the Shallan chapters have been my favorite so far. And I'm not really sure, again, where it's going. It's been a while since I've read about Kaladin too. I'm interested to see... Oh, yeah, we haven't seen him since he decided that he was going to try and be a good leader, so I'm interested to see how his life has changed now. But other than that, yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see when the next chapters come out. And thank you.